Hey guys, Marianne Cowan here from Pinery Paper Crafts. Just pulling it up on my computer so I can see comments. And hopefully we'll get a few people watching. It's a very gray and dreary day here in Ottawa, which is making everything really, really green. And we're supposed to have a nice weekend, so that's good. So if you're jumping on, I'd love for you to tell me where you're watching from. And if you want to, you could share the video. That helps me be seen by more people on Facebook, which I guess is a good thing. Share our love of crafting. So, just gonna make sure I'm in the right spot. 3 o'clock. All right, so today I'm going to be working with the Forever Flourishing dies because I'm obsessed with them, and the Forever Fern stamp set. This is a product coming up in the new annual catalog. As demonstrators, we could pre-order products, so this was the one that I was drawn to right away, and I just love it. I can't stop playing with it. So if you're sick of seeing me, you don't need to watch, but otherwise it's really fun. It's a fun set to play with. We're also going to be using the Forever Gold Specialty Designer Series paper, and this specialty paper comes with these sentiment backgrounds, some really cool greenery, and it also comes with card fronts similar to the detailed die bird ballad tin that we had, but everything is gold. It's gold on one side, but it's white on the other side, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And I'm just going to shut the door because my husband is banging. All right, so let's get started. Hello, Wanda. We have some new people. Oh, you're lucky if it's going to come on Monday. We've been having a little bit of a problem with not Stampin' Up, but UPS here, so everything seems to be delayed. But when you get this, you'll have a lot of fun with it. I've made a few cards with it already, and it'll be perfect for Christmas card classes as well. Just add a little bit of greenery, or, well, silver and gold for Christmas is beautiful anyways. All right, so we're going to be making 3 cards today, and if you've watched some of my videos before, you know that I'm obsessed with this stuff now, and I will try to move on. Yesterday I did the beautiful bouquet, so that was a fun set. It's retiring, and so if you want to get it, make sure that you get it quickly, because some of the retiring products are selling out. All right, we're going to start with this card. We're going to make 3 cards today. This card has a thick Whisper White base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then you just fold it. I do like to score when I use the thick Whisper White cardstock. The next layer is regular Whisper White, and it is embossed using the new embossing folder called Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. This catalog has a lot of beautiful textiles and some of the background stamps. It's really, really pretty. So this one almost looks like burlap to me, so I really liked that. So that's what I've used for this base. And let's just go ahead and put that one on. I'm just going to use snail till it runs out, and then I'll switch to something else. Sometimes if it's a really thick embossing folder, I like to use the liquid glue, just because I find it glues it a little better. Hi, Shannon. Okay, so now I'll just show you the elements I have. So this is one of the gold elements, and I find it a little too gold for this card. So I have flipped it over, and I'm using the white side, and it almost kills me to flip it over, but I'm going to do it. I've taken a little rectangle, and I think this one is from one of the new die sets. I think the one, I don't want to say for sure. Anyways, it's a new die that's coming out, and the greeting is from this stamp set called Lovely You. So I used Always, and on another card we're going to make, I used Just Because. I love the font on this. And they're really nice sayings as well. Cherished friend. I love this one. Love is what makes us family. And now that we can't see our family, what a beautiful card that would be to send to someone in the mail. Alright, so I have gone ahead and embossed this in gold, and I've done some very subtle leaf stamping. I don't even know if you can see, but it's very subtle. I used soft seafoam. I wasn't even sure if I wanted anything, but it seemed like it needed something. So I did soft seafoam, but actually really lightly stamped. So this is kind of my vision for this card. I am going to add some vellum layers behind. This is what I kind of do. I lay it all out and see what I like. Now I've gone ahead and cut out some of the flourishing, Forever Flourishing dies in gold, in white. What I do is I have my little trays here. I'll have to find a better way to do this, but I don't need those ones today. So I've got some white ones. I've got already stamped ones that I've cut out, vellum, and then these are the gold ones from, I don't know if you can see that in the camera. These are the gold ones from that pack of paper. So I've got Just Jade, I think Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive, soft seafoam, and white. So I might use some white ones on this one. I'm going to keep that over there. And I'm definitely going to use some vellum. Okay, so I like to go ahead and cut a whole bunch of stuff out and then decide what I'm going to use, because I kind of just play with it. Okay, I think I'm going to take, so this is the same one in white. And you might think that this is way too much and you just want to leave it with that. And hey, that's fine. So these ones are cut out. I don't think I want this much gold in this card, but I'll try it and see. No, I do not want that much gold. I want it more subtle. So I want maybe just some of these little tiny sprigs. Yes, that's much nicer. Okay, so I like that one. I'll go use that one. And maybe this one. Another idea for this one, when I originally saw this one, I figured it's probably for something like that. Actually, that's kind of pretty. And I like to offset things a little bit. All right, and it needs something else up here. I want to look for, I don't want to put the same one I had on the other side. There's this one as well. So let's try that over here. And I'm just kind of building around. So now we need something down here. And I am kind of limited in what I have in vellum. I'll use this one maybe. Is that the same? Or maybe I can use something in white. All right. So I'm doing kind of opposite corners. I try not to do matchy-matchy, and this might be a bit too matchy-matchy. So I've got white. Oh, I've got the same ones. Interesting. So I've got the same ones in each corner, and vellum, and then white. And I'm wondering, yeah, okay. I actually don't like that there. I don't think it really suits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to use maybe one of the little sprigs. So I've got two sprigs up there. Oh, I could do like that. I like that better. It's a little more subtle. And then I could always add some little gold embellishments. Oh, I liked this one too. I'm looking for the ones that are more subtle. But we can't have too much match. I don't want like something coming out every angle. Maybe something like that. Get rid of this one. Maybe put it over here. Okay, I kind of like that. Let's work with that. Every card's different, every card's unique, and sometimes you'll look back and think, I don't, maybe not. But I don't think anyone who receives these cards are going to look at it and say, ooh, because they're all really pretty. I mean, not just because they're my cards, just because of the elements that I'm using. Okay, I'm just getting this stuff out of the way. So now what I do is kind of lift everything off. I'm just going to see who else is here, if there's any comments. And I'm going to use glue dots to attach all these elements. So I'm going to lift this whole thing off. And I'm remembering that I don't want to go outside of the edges of my card, but I could go like right up to there. Okay, so I'm going to add this one first. I find it simpler to take the glue dot and put it on because sometimes it tears the vellum. Okay, so I want this one as much up into the corner as I can. Whoops. You have a little bit of give with your glue dots. I'm not going to press it too hard right now. And then, okay, I'm going to take these two off. Okay, I'm going to put a glue dot there. I've got this vellum one. I'm going to tuck it right up to the corner. Okay, now I'm going to take that gold one. I might do the gold ones at the end actually, because I'll put the other piece back on and see exactly where I want them. It does end up that I have vellum at the top and white at the bottom, but it's all good. You can do yours. I'm just trying to show you. The whole idea of these videos is just to show you some different ways that I design my cards. Alright, so let's go back to this piece, and I'm going to say, is that where I wanted those? I'm going to pop this up. Yep, I like them right there, so I'm just going to pull these off and put glue dots under there. There we go. Now, I have to decide if I want to pop this piece up or this whole piece. And I think I want to pop up this whole piece. So I'm going to glue this on using some snail. Trying to get it straight. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this up, which may or may not work because I've got a lot of layers here and they're not all flat. So we might have to do some adjusting just to get it to stick down. Hi, Sue. Do you have your fireplace on? It's so damp out. I know it's warm out today, but it's damp. I actually have woolly socks on. All right, I'm going to kind of get that one out of the way. So let's try to center this as best we can. All right. Is that crooked after all that? When I'm looking at, from the angle I'm looking at it, oh well, if it's crooked, it's crooked. Then I'm going to take this little gold one and see where I want it. So I'm going to put this one on top of the vellum, and I'm going to put this one behind. And I thought this would be a nice wedding card actually. And I was planning to go to my niece's wedding this June, but unfortunately they had to postpone it. All right. I think it might be a bit crooked, but it will do. Hello, Julia. All right, so there's the first card. Like I said, it could be used as a wedding card, heat embossed in gold, and then with just some slight gold accents. If you follow me, you'll know that I really love tone on tone, so white on white, and the other cards we're going to make are also tone on tone. So we'll just slide that one over here. I think you can still see it. Okay, the next one we're going to do is Purple Posie. So what all the layers I have for this one: card base, same, 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I used the subtle 3D embossing folder, 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and put this on. I find once I get a design I kind of like, then I make a bunch of cards with the same kind of design. This is from the Ornate layering dies. This is available now as a early release from the new catalog, and I know many of my customers have purchased it. It's just so pretty. There's a lot of little pokey things though, so I like to make sure I've got them all. I think I'm good. Then we're going to layer it up with a piece of vellum from the rectangle stitched dies, and it fits right in there. And then I have a layer from the scalloped rectangle. This is from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I've used these so much I can't even tell you. Okay, so that's what we're using, so that's going to go on top of there. And then I just have a couple of little elements. I'm not going to put too much on this one because it's already got a lot going on. I actually thought I might put a couple of little flowers, but I might change my mind. Yeah, I'm going to go, I want to add a bit of vellum. This is very soft and feminine. So I think I can just put stuff up in one corner, just up in this corner. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I think, I'm not, because when I do, I was going to go ahead and glue that on, but sometimes I like to tuck things under the different layers, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm looking for a littler vellum piece. So something like this, but I'm going to cut off the top. So don't forget, when you have these big vellum pieces, you can cut them down to make them exactly how you want. So I'm going to layer this one under this piece. Like I said, I'm not going to go crazy like I sometimes tend to. So I'm just going to put a couple in that corner. I've already stamped down in this corner using Highland Heather, and I stamped off, and then I used Highland Heather full strength for the sentiment. And I feel like I want to get a flower. This was my other little tray of flowers. I don't feel like these are fancy enough, but this one might be. And that is from the, this is from the Best Dressed Designer Series paper, which is retiring. Okay, I'm going to put these two here. That one seems kind of big, and that one seems kind of small. I don't like any of these other ones. Well, it's not I don't like them, but they're not what I'm looking for. All right, so we've got that, we've got that, we've got that. That's too small. This one kind of takes away from that. I almost just need this piece. All right, trimming time. And I can always tuck this one underneath. I just found altogether it's too much, but I don't really want green. I don't want to introduce green. Sorry, leaves, you're coming off. All right, I like that. And I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. Here's what I do. I start playing around, then I add way too much stuff. Okay, so let's just move this out of the way. All right, so that one's under this one. I'm going to try to figure out all these layers I've got going on. And again, I'm going to use my glue dots. So let's start by making this flower. There. Okay, I like the flower. That's going to go right there. Kind of working backwards now. Seeing where I put everything. And that one is going to go there. I'm just going to make sure that when I put this on, this is not hanging off the page. Okay, I think we're good. All right. So we've got that layer, then we've got this layer. So I can go ahead and put this layer on because I'm going to glue it more to the middle because I know that the glue shows through the vellum. And the glue dot is going to hold it a little bit as well. Trying to center this. Okay, I'm going to pop this up, so I want this. All right, I think this is the next layer. I do also have some little purple rhinestones that I'm going to find and put on. Okay, I like that. I'm going to pop this up. I think it just needs, I'll put 2. You know what I'm going to put on before I do is a little vellum leaf. It needs a leaf, but I don't want a green leaf. Okay, so let me add that. I'm going to put it on the leaf, the glue dot on the leaf, because I'm not exactly sure where I want it. Because that's going to go like that, it's going to go like that. I have to remember all the other stuff I've got going on. Oh, for crying out loud. Glue dots are very sticky. Okay, so I want my flower to go like this. Okay, so I want it kind of over here, I think. Yeah, that's good. All right, now I'm going to pop these up with dimensionals, and not this big huge layer. Using dimensionals. Hi, Pat. This would be a pretty wedding card as well. What did I put on it? Oh yeah, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. Especially if the bride has a theme of purple. You know how they always have a theme color. So again, we've got our subtle 3D folder, our ornate garden layering die. Trying to remember all these new names. It's going to drive me crazy. And then we've got a stitched vellum layer, and then we've got the white from the scalloped from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. Okay, I think that's pretty. I didn't go quite as crazy on that one as I did on this one. Sometimes less is more. But I love tone on tone. I love the purples. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is using soft seafoam, and I want to highlight a different embossing folder. So one of the new sets of embossing folders are these little ones. They're 3 5/8 wide. So there's 2 different designs, this little leaf one and then this larger leaf one. I've made a few cards with these already, but just so you know, these will be available June 3rd. And my catalogs are supposed to be here today, so if you're not a demonstrator and have your own catalog and you're in Canada and you would like me to send you a catalog, just send me a message and I'll send one to you. As long as you don't already have a demonstrator that you order with. Okay, so when you emboss this folder, so it embosses 3 5/8. So in some of the cards I've made, I've added a little strip of DSP there. I'll just grab them if I can find them. So there's a bunch of different ways you can use this folder. Here's one way I used it, where I put a piece here and a piece there. And then here. So for this one, I embossed it, added it to the front of the card, and then used DSP to cover up where it wasn't embossed. These ones are all on my blog. There's another one that we did with the little Z fold. Here's that same embossing folder, and here I've used the embossing folder on the inside, and although it doesn't go right to the edge, it doesn't matter. It still looks pretty, and when you close the card, you can see lots of embossing, so I like that look. Here's one of the gold foil ones where I did a Christmas card. There's the subtle embossing folder again. And here is another one that I made. Again, using the DSP, the Forever Greenery DSP. It is so pretty. And then there's a different Always that's in a different set called, I don't know what it's called. Anyways, really pretty font, and then it's got all these different things you can add to it. All right, I'll get those out of the way. I just wanted to show you different ways to use this embossing folder. So I'm going to take my little paper trimmer that you could only get when you signed up as a demo or if you were a demo. And it's just so cute. I use it all the time, sitting here on my desk. So I am going to trim it down to the 3 3/8, because I'm going to layer up my card a little bit. I started out, I had it small, but now I want to go right to the top and bottom. So I switched it up a little bit. So here's how my card is envisioned. We're going to add that layer, we're going to add this layer. Oh, that one needs to go over a little bit more. I just want a little peak of white. Then I have the 3 layers from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. 1, 2, 3, and there's a tiny little one too. Because sometimes you just want a little greeting. So here's what we're working with, and I'm going to try to not go too crazy with all the elements. So let's go ahead and put these layers on. So we've got hopefully enough glue in here. I did get another refill. We're getting new glue in the catalog, in the new catalog, but we weren't able to order it on pre-order, so I'm hoping my glue situation will hold out. Like I said, I do have a refill. All right, so that's going right to the top, and then that's getting glued on, kind of centered. So it's just a different way to use this folder. Well, I might be using green glue now because I think I just finished that one and I don't want to bother going and changing it right now. So let's just use, it's not green glue, it's totally white glue, but I always call it green glue. That's a lot. We don't need that much. It does squish out a little bit after you put it down. All right, there we go. That looks good. Okay, so now we have our 3 layers, and I'm going to add a little bit of greenery, not too much. So I might add, these are the elements that you can stamp and then cut out, so I might add a couple of these. And sometimes I like going between the layers, so add one at the back, and I've done some in Pear Pizzazz and some in Soft Seafoam. That's the same one, so I don't want to use the same one. And then another trick is, this one is designed to stamp it and then cut it out. Yes, Pat, you need to get a late slip. And then you can just cut it out of vellum, and even though you can't see the leaves, you still layer it up and it looks pretty. So I might take that one. This one's taller though. I might put this one at the back because this one is quite long and tall, although that one kind of is too. All right, let's try this. And there's this one as well, which is pretty. And then there's, I want something softer. Oh, here's the little ones. So you can see how I'm putting something at each layer. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but hey. And then I've done the same with this leaf one. This is the cutout of this. And there is a stamp that goes each way, which I love. But let me see if there's, I just want little, I don't really want that. I want little, this is what I want. I just want a little piece like this. This is a mess. All right, because the other thing you can do is just cut them up. You just have to kind of manicure the little parts that are kind of overlapping. All right, I think that's, and then you get these nice pieces too. And sometimes if you've got a little niche there, you just cover it up and nobody knows. Okay, so we've got that one, we've got that layer, and then I want to come in with this little green, and then I want to have these little elements behind. Or this could come down this way. Yeah, I like that better. I might still put that one there. All right, I forgot to put some little pearls, I forgot to put some little jewels on this. I'll go back and do that at the end. All right, what else do I have over here? sometimes they don't cut out perfectly. This is the same one, but you can see how it didn't quite. Sometimes I'll put a little sticky note when I'm using my magnetic plate because sometimes it shifts. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the same thing. We'll pop up the layers. Alright, so I'm going to use glue dots to adhere all these things together. I'm actually going to put a glue dot here and offset this one. A little lower than that. Okay, and we know we want that to go about there. So let's go ahead and put a glue dot because we don't want it to go off the page. Okay, so that's good. Then we've got these two like that. The trick is trying not to move them. I'm not sure about that one. We'll put it here and then see. I don't think that's exactly where it was, but alright, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move it over here. Okay, so we got that, and then we have this. Alright, so I'm going to take these ones and put them behind here. First I have to layer them up. And then I'll put them behind. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. As soon as I'm running out of glue, I'm just going to use glue dots. Hopefully I won't run out of glue dots. And then at some point I'm going to pop it up. So let's try to get that so it's straight and in the middle. And then this one is going to go here, and that is too low. Let's try that. That's a little better. Could still be a bit higher. Let's try the whole thing and see. Because I do have all these layers going on. No, that's okay. All right, so let's see if I have any no, I don't. Fast fuse. Man, it's hard times. Okay. Let's just use glue dots. Glue dots work perfectly well. Okay. Now I want to center this. And I want to pop this up. And then I'm going to add now I want to make sure I go behind the vellum because I don't want these to show through the vellum because you can see them, the adhesive, through the vellum. Hi, Margaret. Okay, I lost the comments here. Okay. All right. So there's our 3 cards. I do want to go back and put a little bit of bling on. So let's see what I want to do. I was thinking for this one, there are these Noble Peacock rhinestones that are retiring. They're a little bit darker, but I think they will be pretty. So I'm just going to add a couple. I'm just going to add 2. For this green one, we could even add these little ones. I don't know what color these are, but they seem perfect. There, I'm just adding 2. And then for the gold, we have these gilded gems, and there's also these ones. These were from the Christmas rose set. They had the special gold ribbon and these little gold gems. I'm going to add these ones because they're a little daintier. The other ones seemed a little big to me. So I'm going to add 2 over here, and then 1 over in the other corner. Because we already got some gold going on, so we don't want to add too much. Okay, so there are our 3 cards for today, using color on color, tone on tone, however you want to say it, using the textile embossing folder, the 3D subtle embossing folder, and the, what's it called? Greenery embossing folders, available June 3rd. Available June 3rd. We also used the gold specialty laser cut paper and one of the little backgrounds and flipped it over because it's purple and white. Here we use the ornate layering dies. Those are available currently. And so is this. The Stitch So Sweetly was on back order forever because it's so popular. And so we just layered that one up. And then this one is using some of the elements from the Forever Fern stamp set. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give me a thumbs up or share it, and I'd appreciate that. And I hope you're joining me in my mission to make a card, send a card, especially as this drags on. People will really appreciate getting a card in the mail. I know that some things are opening back up, but there's still a lot of people that are very anxious about going out, and it's still going to be a long time before things are back to normal. So a card in the mail, I think, would be appreciated. So thank you for joining me today. I'll be back tomorrow, Saturday, and it's supposed to be nice and sunny here today. But I'll be here 3 o'clock. Pat says, yeah, I was going pastel-y today. I don't know why it's pouring rain outside, but I don't know. I was in a pastel kind of mood. All right, guys, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Have a great day.